Page number 437. The Way of Fate and the Problem of Pain. A
Quicker.
while, a while, a while she we- a while she fell to the human, to the level of human mind, a field of mortal grief and nature's law. She shared, she bore the common lot of men, and felt what common hearts endure in time. Voicing Earth's question to the inscrutable power, the Queen now turned to the still immobile seer, assailed by the discontent,
Assailed.
assailed by the discontent in nature's depths, partner in the agony of dumb-driven things, and all the misery, all the ignorant cry, passionate, like sorrow questioning, passionate, like sorrow questioning heaven, she spoke.
That's a good place to stop then. So the first thing we have is inscrutable.
Inscrutable.
Do you know that definition?
Which cannot go through scrutiny,
Which cannot what?
which cannot be scrutinized.
Yeah, difficult to understand.
Difficult
Difficult.
to understand.
Yeah, almost impossible to fathom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have the word assail.
Mm-hmm.
Assailed by the discontent in nature's depths. It's almost to attack, assaulted, attacked, vigorously attacked. She's attacked by this discontent in nature's depths. So we can say assaulted or attacked.
Hmm. But is that the regular meaning of assailed, or it is in this context?
The regular meaning is to attack vigorously or violently, to assault. So she is,
Okay.
but it's not a physical assault. It's kind of an impact. It's she is attacked by this discontent in the depths of nature. She's
Right.
she's the queen. She's feeling it because she knows now that her daughter is going to marry this fellow who's going to die in 1 year.
Got it. Hmm.
And she can't quite handle that
Yeah.
because she's partner in the agony of dumb driven things. She's
Hmm.
also partner in all the misery, all the ignorant cry. And so very passionately she speaks at first to Narad. And
Hmm.
something like sorrow that questions heaven. Oh, why did my dear one have to die? Why did this have to happen to me? All this like
Yeah.
so she's speaking to Narad with that in her,
Yeah.
that tone in her voice, in her
Yeah.
heart. Okay.
Yeah. Lending her speech to the surface soul on earth, she uttered the suffering in the world's dumb heart, a man's revolt
No,
against his
and man's and man's not
and man's
revolt.
and man's revolt
Ah, okay, you got
and
it.
man's revolt against his ignorant fate. O
So
seer.
yes,
Okay. Should I go on or we?
you can go on because that's clear, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll read again. Lending her speech to the surface soul on earth, she uttered the suffering in the world's dumb heart and man's revolt against his ignorant fate. O seer, in the earth's strange, twi-natured life, by what pitiless adverse necessity, or what cold freak of a Creator's will, by what random accident or governed chance, that shaped a rule of fortuitous steps,
Fortuitous.
fortuitous, by what accident or governed chance, that shaped a rule out of fortuitous steps, made destiny from an hour's emotion, came into the unreadable mystery of time, the direr mystery of pain and grief. Sorry, the direr mystery of grief and pain. Is it thy God who made this cruel law?
So you can see immediately that she's a very intelligent woman,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
queen, very
Yeah.
very educated woman, and she really wants to know why this has happened, why, whether it was a random accident or a governed chance that shaped this rule of death out of fortuitous. Fortuitous is accidental, happening by
Okay.
chance.
Yeah.
And out of these, out of this chance thing, it made destiny from an hour's emotion. And it came,
Narad,
yeah,
fortuitous, does it hold the same meaning as serendipity? No.
no, no, serendipity is lucky or fortunate, that is true.
Okay.
But this is more happening by chance,
Chance. Okay.
happening by chance or accidental.
Okay. Got it.
And then she says, into the unreadable mystery of time. Of course, you can't read in this mystery of time, the dire mystery of grief and pain. Dire is causing or involving great fear or suffering.
Okay.
Dreadful, terrible.
Okay. Involving with. Yeah.
Now, now she asks him, is it thy God who made this cruel law?
Hmm.
She, it, we always turn to accusing God.
Yeah. That
So
is true.
now let's see, she continues on.
Is it thy God who made this cruel law, or some disastrous power has marred his work, and he stands helpless to defend or save? A fatal seed was sown in life's false start, when evil twinned with good on earthly soil.
So she sees this, she understands this, but to mar something is to damage or spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
So, did some disastrous power mar God's work?
Hmm.
Or did he make this cruel law? She's asking.
Hmm.
Or did some power, a disastrous power, mar his work and God stands helpless to defend or save? That's the eternal question.
Yeah.
If if God made evil,
Yeah.
uh, is he really a good God?
Hmm.
Or if he made evil and he can't change it, is he really God?
Mm-hmm.
These are the eternal questions.
Hmm.
So did did some power mar power with a capital P, huh?
P. Yeah.
Very important word there.
Yeah.
Was some power, some negative power that marred his work, and
Hmm.
he stands helpless. He can't defend it or save it.
Hmm.
That's her question.
Yeah.
A fatal seed. Then she sees that a fatal seed was sown in this false start of life when life first began,
Hmm.
because then evil twinned, twinned, twinned
Hmm.
me. when you have twins?
Twins, yeah, twinning, yeah. Where
Yeah,
it's the same, like,
like
being an
twins.
equal, yeah.
It twinned with good on the earthly soil.
Hmm.
And then she continues.
Then first appeared the melody of mind, its pang of thought, its quest for the aim of life. It twisted into forms of good and ill, the frank simplicity of the animal's acts. It turned the straight path hewn by the body's gods, followed the zigzag of the uncertain course of life that wanders, seeking for its aim in the pale starlight falling from thought's skies. It guides the unsure idea, the wavering will.
Yeah, quite a bit here, actually.
Yeah.
So she says that then first appeared the malady of mind. That's a disorder or a disease of the mind.
Oh, okay.
That malady, it's very unwholesome, very unhealthy.
Hmm.
And then that appeared, and it's pang of thought. A pang is a
Like a snake pang.
like a what?
Snake, like a snake pang. Pangs be like
Uh,
stuck.
yeah, it's like
A
that.
quick,
It's like
quick
it's
movement of like a,
a quick hit. Yeah.
yeah, quick hit.
Pang.
Yeah.
I have a pang in my heart.
Mm.
Just like
Yeah, got it. Okay.
it's pang of thought, it's quest for the aim of life. And what happened with this malady of mind? Well, it twisted into forms of good and ill the frank simplicity of the animal's acts.
Hmm.
Now, frank means direct,
Hmm.
open, sincere, straightforward. It's an important word. Mother has a flower named frankness.
Yeah. The gerbera.
Yes, good
Yeah.
for you. Yeah, and that's very important. She speaks a lot about it. So this mind twisted into all these forms of good and ill,
Hmm.
this frank simplicity of the animal's act. What is the frank simplicity of the animal's acts? Well, the animal doesn't think about good or bad when he has to kill something.
Hmm.
He kills it because
Hmm.
that's he needs it for his food, or
Yeah.
he needs it for his family.
Yeah.
This is not a good or bad
Yeah.
intent. When
Survival.
mother says when the cat catches a mouse and people say, "Oh, look at that horrible cat hitting that mouse and playing with a dead mouse and knocking it back and forth." Mother says it's not that at all.
Yeah.
She is softening the meat for her young ones.
Hmm.
Ah, interesting, huh?
Yeah.
That's what it's not playing with that mouse. It's softening because they can't eat that tough exterior.
Hmm.
She softens it.
Hmm.
Very interesting. So then it turned the straight path, hewn by the body's gods. Now, to hew something is to cut something.
Hmm.
Cut it by like with an axe.
Yeah.
Hewn, and then followed the zigzag of the uncertain course. A
Yeah.
zigzag, is a
Yeah.
line
It's exact.
like this, huh?
Yeah.
And then of life that wanders, seeking for its aim. So it's a zigzag and it's an uncertain course of life that
Mm-hmm.
wanders, seeking for its aim. In
Mm.
the pale starlight, falling from thought's skies, back to the mind again, you see?
Yeah.
It's not a light, is it? It's not a brilliant light. It's not a sun. It's a
Mm.
pale starlight
Yeah.
falling from the mind skies, from thought skies.
Mm.
That guides the unsure idea, very interesting, The mind guides the unsure idea and the wavering will. When something is wavering, it's unsteady, subject to change. It's moving unsteadily.
Yeah.
It's a faltering will. It's not solid, huh? So it guides the unsure idea, the wavering will. And then we can go a little bit more.
Lost was the instinct's safe identity with the arrow point of being's inmost sight, marred the unsure steps of nature's simple walk,
Now, marred the sure steps.
mar the sure steps of nature's simple walk, and truth and freedom in the growing soul.
Okay, so now we see that this life is wandering and seeking for its aim
Yeah.
in the pale starlight that falls from the skies of thought. And that thought guides the unsure idea. It even guides the wavering will. But in that was lost the safe identity of the instinct. And
Okay.
with the arrow point of being's inmost sight, so that's been lost. And again, the word marred comes up.
Yeah.
Marred the sure steps of nature's simple walk. Well, nature doesn't have a complicated walk. It's very moderate. It's guided. I mean, she brings a plant into growth from a seed. The plant grows and then it flowers and then it dies. It's a rather gentle step, isn't it? It's a simple walk. She's not. There are times, yes, that she can be very aggressive. Tsunami, cyclone, hurricane, earthquake. But here she's saying that these sure steps of nature's walk have been marred, as well as truth and fruit in the growing soul. We'll carry on a little bit more.
Out of some ageless innocence and peace, privilege of souls not yet betrayed to birth, cast down to suffer on this hard, dangerous earth, our life was born in pain and with a cry.
Very good reading. Very good. So she says now, out of some ageless innocence and peace, which is the privilege of souls not yet betrayed to birth. Now, to betray someone to birth is to lead them astray, to deceive them. And so these souls who are not yet born and not yet have to be cast down to suffer on this hard, dangerous earth. Our life was born in pain and the cry. So we have descended into birth. We have become human beings. Interesting. So now we continue a little more.
Although earth nature welcomes heaven's breath, inspiring matter with a will to live, a thousand ills assail the mortal's hours, and wear away the natural joy of life. Our bodies are an engine cunningly made, but for all its part as cunningly are planned.
Cunningly.
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 But for all its parts as cunningly are planned. contrived,
No,
ingeniously
contrived.
contrived, contrived ingeniously with demon skill, its apt, inevitable heritage or mortal danger and peculiar pain, its payment of the tax of time and fate, its way to suffer and its way to die.
Very sad. Well, we have a lot to cover here.
Yeah.
Cover that, and then we can finish today. Because uh, she says it's a privilege of souls who are not yet deceived by coming into birth.
Hmm.
They haven't not had to be cast down to suffer
Hmm.
on this hard, dangerous earth.
Hmm.
And then she says, our life was born in pain and with a cry.
Hmm.
Well, I think we can all understand that when the baby comes out of the mother's womb,
Yeah.
it cries. It's
Yeah.
the, our life was born in pain, the
Hmm.
mother's pain,
Hmm.
and with cry, the baby's cry. See,
Yeah.
everything Sri Aurobindo is so clear on.
Hmm.
Yes, this is the Queen speaking, but she's not speaking a falsehood.
Mm-hmm.
It is true
Hmm.
that this safe identity of our instinct was lost,
Hmm.
and the nature's simple walk, those her steps were marred, and our life was born in pain and with a cry.
Hmm.
And then she says, although earth nature welcomes heaven's breath, of course we do. We
Hmm.
want higher things. We're looking towards higher things.
Yeah.
We don't want to stay in the darkness.
Hmm.
And that inspires matter
Hmm.
with the will to live.
Hmm.
But even with those things, 1,000 ills attack,
Hmm.
assault the mortal's hours. And they wear away the natural joy of life.
Hmm.
Why? Well, because when we're young, we have
Hmm.
lots of energy,
Hmm.
we have thoughts, we have ideals,
Hmm.
and as the body gets older and older, it wears this natural joy of life wears away in most people.
Hmm.
People in their 70s 80s have already given up on life.
Hmm.
We know that. We've
Hmm.
seen families.
Yeah.
Or they just sit around and vegetate and find no more natural joy of life.
Hmm.
Wear away.
Hmm.
1,000 ills assail the mortal's hours and wear away the natural joy of life.
Hmm.
And then she goes into another thing because there's a semicolon there.
Yeah.
And she says, our bodies are an engine cunningly made.
Hmm.
That is true.
Hmm.
When you look at how the blood flows in the body,
Hmm.
when you look at sleep and waking, when you look at the movement of even the fingers, this body is an engine cunningly made, no doubt. Cunning means skill
Mm-hmm.
or adeptness, dexterity.
So it's not really meant in a negative sense, like
Not at
we
all.
would call like a cunning fox or something like that. It's not like that.
No, it can be shrewd sometimes,
Okay.
but I think here she means more. It's more
Skilled. Okay.
skillfully made. But for all its parts,
Hmm.
as cunningly are planned. So see now, cunningly implies skill or adeptness.
Yeah.
Contrived is planned with cleverness. or devised. So contrived ingeniously. Now, ingenious means,
Something to the nature, like in the sense, like the ingenious, um, ingenious, um, yeah, something so very natural to earth.
yeah, it's, excuse me just a second. Hello. So, um, ingeniously is inventive.
Inventive, okay.
Yeah, it's cunningly inventive with demon skill. She says, "Whoa!"
Mm,
It's apt, inevitable heritage.
heritage.
Well, here we have three words we have to look at.
Mm.
Apt means,
Precise.
yeah, unusually intelligent or
Right.
appropriate,
Appropriate. Yeah.
inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Inevitable simply means can't avoid it.
Can avoid it. Yeah.
It's going to happen,
Yeah.
sure to occur. And a
Yeah.
heritage is something that's inherited at
Inherit.
birth,
Yeah.
at, such as personal characteristics or status or
Mm.
possessions
Mm.
of mortal danger and peculiar pain. Well, that's
Mm.
interesting because she says this, what we have for all its parts, as cunningly are planned, contrived ingeniously with demon skill, its apt, inevitable heritage of mortal danger and peculiar pain.
Mm.
Oh, that's a very, very strong
Mm.
statement.
Mm.
Peculiar pain. And we'll go to the next page for a moment and then we'll end. Let's see, 439 we begin. And uh, here we are. It's payment of the tax of time and fate. So we have this body
Yeah.
that is cunningly planned,
Mm-hmm.
and yet it has to pay a tax
Yeah.
of time and fate because time simply means that you're going to get older and you're
Old.
going to die.
Yeah.
She says that it's way to suffer
Mm.
and its way to die. Um, we can just go a little bit more to the purveyors of death. So this is,
Should we or should I read it?
yeah, better that you read it.
Yeah.
Much good idea. Very good idea. Okay.
A while she fell to the level of human mind, a field of mortal grief and nature's law. She shared, she bore the common lot of men, and felt what common hearts endure in time. Voicing earth's question to the inscrutable power, the queen now turned to the still immobile seer, assailed by the discontent in nature's depths, partner in the agony of dumb driven things, and all the misery and all the ignorant cry, passionate, like sorrow questioning heaven, she spoke, lending her speech to the surface soul on earth. She uttered the suffering in the world's dumb heart, and man's revolt against his ignorant fate. O seer, in the earth's strange twi-natured life, by what pitiless adverse necessity, or what cold freak of a Creator's will, by what random accident or governed chase that shaped a rule chance, sorry, by what random accident or governed chance that shaped a rule out of fortuity, fortuitous steps that
Good.
shaped a rule out of fortuitous steps, made destiny from an hour's emotion, came into the unreadable mystery of time, the direr mystery of pain and grief.
Of grief and pain.
Grief and pain.
Reading a little bit too fast,
Too
and
fast.
you're moving a little bit too
Yeah.
fast. So you can go slower
Is
because
it thy God
you're reading very
that,
well. You just have to slow
yeah,
it.
yeah, okay. Is it thy God who made this cruel law, or some disastrous power has marred his work, and he stands helpless to defend or save? A fatal
Yeah,
seed was sown.
but you drop the word save again, and it's a question mark. And when there's a question mark, you always have to lift the voice a little
Rise
bit.
it up.
To
Okay.
defend or save?
Or is it thy God who made this cruel law? Or some
Yes.
disastrous power has marred his work, and he stands helpless to defend or save? A fatal seed was sown in life's false start, when evil twinned with good on earthly soil. Then first appeared the melody of mind, its pang of thought, its quest for the aim of life. It twisted into forms of good and ill, the frank simplicity of the animal's acts. It turned the straight path hewn by the body's gods, followed the zigzag of the uncertain course of life that wanders, seeking for its aim in the pale starlight falling from thought's skies. Its guides It guides the unsure idea, the wavering will. Lost was the instinct's safe identity with the arrow point of being's inmost sight. Marred the sure steps of nature's simple walk, and truth and freedom in the growing soul. Out of some ageless innocence and peace, privilege of souls not yet betrayed, cast down to suffer on this hard, dangerous earth. Our life was born in pain and with a cry. Although earth nature welcomes heaven's breath, inspiring matter with the will to live, a thousand
No,
ills assail.
no, you accented your accent will. Inspiring matter with the will to live.
Inspiring matter with the will to live,
Good.
a thousand ills assail the mortal's hours, and wear away the natural joy of life. Our bodies are an engine cunningly made, but for all its parts as cunningly are planned, contrived,
Contrive.
contrived ingeniously with demon skill, its apt, inevitable heritage of mortal danger and peculiar pain, its payment of the tax of time and fate, its way to suffer and its way to die.
Good reading. Basically good. You have to slow down a little bit,
Okay.
and that has to be somewhere in your consciousness that it says every word is sacred in Savitri.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
I think when I started slowing down, I was not making mistakes also anymore.
that's correct. That
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Just the pronunciations and things, but otherwise the mistakes also reduce when it's
right.
slow.
And I think your understanding of it increases when you slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You,
Also.
I felt that you were picking up some things that you didn't quite have before about
Hmm.
on the previous page.
Yeah. Yeah.
438, yeah. Good. Okay.